Kawhi Watch enters its millionth hour. Still no decision from Kawhi Leonard as to where he's going to play next year. We need to talk about some stuff just because we need to talk about some stuff. Michael Grange joining me once again. If he were to come back to the Raptors, not saying it's going to happen again, please do not jump on that. Where do they rank amongst the favorites in the NBA?
Well, I think they're the favorites to win the NBA title, to repeat. I would base it on their overall performance during the playoffs. I think also the fact that they're coming back intact, and I think there's still a lot of value to be mined out of this roster, just because, as we know, they spent so little time together really playing. So it's still a new team. I think there's a lot of cohesiveness that can grow. And I also think when you look at the potential for OG Anunoby, that's as strong a pure addition that any of the other contenders have made. There have been a lot of really interesting player movements, but when you generally it's been a little bit of subtraction and then maybe some addition. Can they get to where they were before? Whereas with this Raptors group, apart from age, they're coming back intact, and they do have in OG Anunoby a kind of a new piece they can add and potentially be a better team.
We know a lot had to go right, obviously, for the Raptors to win the title. A lot has to go right for any team to win the title. Obviously, the shot against Philly, coming back against Milwaukee after going down in Game 3, fouling out, et cetera, et cetera. If you looked at this team and said, oh, they need to improve here, what is here to you?
I think I like their starting group. I don't think that's there's a lot of upside to be mined there. I think really they need a little bit of depth. They probably need another good guard that they're really thin there, and they're really thin at center with Ibaka and Gasol. Other than that, I mean, I think they're pretty solid at pretty much every position. OG Anunoby will add to some of that depth component, and then you saw them signing Matt Thomas, who's guess what? A shooter.
Right.
Every team needs one of those, and we'll see if he can translate his success in the EuroLeague to North America.
His numbers there were pretty outstanding, and I know people are excited, and there's already
and you got to bring back Danny Green too.
Right.
So, if they can do all that, and I really do think it's a team both on budget and based on need, they can really only add around the margins.
We saw, again, like you mentioned, a lot of player movement amongst the NBA. If you look around the league, who would be, I guess, the ones to maybe stop them, or the most optimal team to stop the Raptors if Kawhi, again, were to re-sign in Toronto?
Well, I think league-wide, I go with Utah right now. I just think that the moves they've made in the offseason, every single one of them, they all make sense. I think adding Bojan Bogdanovic, I think he's a very, very underrated player in Indiana. And now you're in a situation where you've got Joe Ingles, again, another underrated player, but as good a shooter, playmaker as there is in the league, maybe under that top tier 1 talent. Then he's going to be on the other side of the floor with Bogdanovic. And then you have Donovan Mitchell and Mike Conley running pick and roll with Rudy Gobert. I think defensively it's an outstanding arrangement. Offensively, there's so many weapons that can hurt you. They're deep. I think the only thing they don't have, as compared to the Raptors, is they don't have that single end of shot clock assassin like you have in Kawhi Leonard.
And maybe Donovan Mitchell becomes that guy very quickly. In the East, if there was a team to compete with the Raptors right now, do you look at Philly with the additions they've made as maybe the next team behind the Raptors?
Well, I'm still going to go with Milwaukee. I think they've more or less kept their group intact. Malcolm Brogdon, a big loss, but Philly has the potential to be just a monster defensive team, and they have that depth now with Horford behind Embiid when he's not on the floor.
We continue to wait. Kawhi Leonard still hasn't signed, although it sounds as if he does stay with the Raptors, they would once again be the NBA favorites. That is Michael Grange.